So while many people believe that funerals have become too expensive, undertakers say there's more to providing a dignified service than simply bringing a beautiful casket. This includes transport, flowers, catering and other services, all which come at a cost. Newzroom Afrika's Silethiwe Ndlovu is at a funeral parlour this afternoon and joins us now live for more details. Silethiwe, you've been on this story since the start of the morning. I want you to start off before you go into your interview around what is it that you have learned through speaking to these various stakeholders about funerals in South Africa?
What I can say, Elgin, is that it's definitely been an eye-opener. Firstly, just from some of the guests that we spoke to earlier on in the morning, what I can understand is that funerals are definitely a bit pricey, but also I guess it depends on the type of funeral then that you are requesting. Some people saying that, some undertakers really saying that it's up to the people then that are requiring those different services. And also just speaking about how they provide a dignified funeral for those different people. And it's not really about being glamorous or being too flashy, but it is, of course, about providing a dignified send-off. But as you mentioned just a few seconds ago, we are inside a funeral parlor. In fact, we're inside a warehouse where there's a number of preparations, Elgin, that actually take place. And this is now the day before you see some of those funerals. As you can see, my colleague Lungelo Zungu showing you some of those preparations that they have here. Flowers, a very, very important aspect, I'm told, by the founder and CEO of Ecebolethu Group, Nomfundo Mqoyi, who we bring into the conversation once again. Just speak to us about the preparations that we as families don't get to see.
There is a lot involved in planning a funeral. From flowers. Flowers are seasonal. Some seasons they are so pricey, but you still need to provide them. And you can't change the price of a funeral based on that. And couches, people need to sit comfortably in funerals. There's a lot involved. They want furniture, they want water, they want everything that you see in a funeral. And people don't see that. They just look at a casket, and when you say it's 20,000, they think, oh, it's so pricey. And it's not. Everything is ifakwe lapho ihlanganisiwe ibalwe kahle, because konke kwama-cost. You just saw our florists. We've got a number of florists. They are paid a salary, and you just look at a flower. Maybe 2 people were involved in making that flower. There was a driver that collected flowers. There was someone that made them. All of that. You saw a fridge where we keep flowers. All of that, it's costly. We have furniture, which we still need to maintain and make sure it's in a good state. And people, we have chair covers that they see. That all of that is involved. And what you see here, all these sets, each set belongs to one family. When you look at this, we do draping in flowers. Especially when it's a hall or even in a tent, we do draping. And then we put flowers, we put chair covers in all those chairs. And we make sure we put astroturf on the floor. And then at the cemetery, they need those machines. You see that lowering device. They need the chairs, they need the flowers. All of this, as you can see here, each set belongs to one family.
Yes.
All of these sets is different families, funerals that are going out tomorrow morning.
Yes.
This is one of our warehouses where in Durban, where we're planning funerals for a certain area. We've got different ones around Durban, but this is everything. And when you look at a funeral, you need programs. We have our printing room where we do our own programs for all the funerals. As you can see, all these machines, we have to pay for them. We prepare our own programs. We do our own photos. As you see, that each funeral, they want to see a photo of the deceased.
Yes,
we print all of that in our printing room. And there's a lot involved. I'm just going to show you now our linen room, our laundry, where we have to wash our chair covers and make sure that everything is in a good state.
Yes.
Yes.
And maybe just to highlight then the state, I know when we talk about dignified funerals, where you said not just talking about providing just the casket then itself. Explain to me what happens in this room. I see there's people ironing, also fridges, but explain to me what happens in this room.
This is the linen room where we wash our chair covers with these big machines. There's a washer, there's a dryer. What I want to mention, people always say, where do we keep our ice? Yes. Our ice, we have an ice machine that makes our ice. Yes. So we don't put them in the cold rooms where we put our dead bodies. Please, please, please. We have a machine that makes ice. We have a deep freezer that keeps them a freezer. We have all our every material that we use for funerals. You can see cooler boxes, everything that you see in a funeral, this is where we keep it. Okay. And outside you saw there's our fleet outside that we're going to use tomorrow for all the funerals as well. Certainly
much has been unveiled, even just looking at some of the services that are provided here. You're looking at flowers, you're looking at chairs, the founder there speaking about the fleet and much more preparation. So what I can tell you, Elgin, is that for today it's definitely been an eye-opener in a sense that there's much more that does go into planning a funeral. And as you heard from the different undertakers that we've been talking to, it is also about providing a dignified funeral for the loved ones that have left us.